And welcome back to What If? The last part of the Naruto Swift Release What If? What if Naruto Swift Release Part 9? Last time we left off with Naruto, Sasuke, and Killer Bee arriving and meeting the resurrected Nagato and Itachi. Now, a couple things real quick. Someone asked if the fight at Itachi, why the fight with Itachi would happen. Someone did explain that to them, and it was pretty much my mindset as well on why that was the case. But why Itachi died to begin with? That's pretty much the fact he was just sick. Maybe he would have lived a bit longer, but I imagine that Obito or someone would have come after him anyway. So, yeah, he did not make it in this case. And so that's why he resurrected. As for Shisui's eye, that is a bit more of a tricky thing to get down how that would have worked. I did forget. I always do kind of overlook that little point. But I do still think that he would have left the eye to Naruto just in case. And the reason for that is while it was safe with him for many years, he knew he was dying. So he had to put it somewhere where he believed it would be safe still. And where it could be put to the best use. And yeah, I imagine Naruto would have been the case. So when he gets to Naruto, when Naruto and him show up, he does activate it, and Orochimaru's like, he's free. Itachi's on a different level than the rest. And so, yeah, Killer Bee, Sasuke, Naruto, and Itachi both overwhelm Nagato and put him down. Now, this leads to the divide in the team. Where they go their separate ways. I imagine even Naruto might even send a clone with Sasuke and Itachi just to be safe. Whereas Killer Bee and Naruto are going their own way. The clones are going their other ways. Meanwhile, Madara is summoned to the... I summon Madara to the field! Madara Uchiha is my ace monster! But no, Madara is summoned to the field. And at this point, most of Naruto Shippuden would go the same, if not smoother. And what do I mean by that? Well, Naruto's much faster even than Madara at this point. Combining the Fox Chakra with his Swift Release. Madara only basically just has heightened reflexes, in which we know he can react to some light speed level shit. And his Sharingan / Rinnegan to rely on to kind of track Naruto's movements. Otherwise, Naruto would blitz him, but being an Edo Tensei, that wouldn't really matter. So, most of what happens on that battlefield is the same, because it is just a clone of Naruto, or multiple clones of Naruto. They can only do so much. Most of the story here would take place with Sasuke and Itachi. They're running. I guess they're jumping, running. What are they doing? They're in the trees, but they're technically leaping. They're leaping. They're moving towards Orochimaru and Kabuto as fast as possible. And they're moving in silence for a while until eventually Itachi kind of speaks up, saying, "I know you want to ask me why, little brother. I already got the explanation." I already got your explanation. Isn't that enough? And Itachi's like, is it enough? And Sasuke's silent for a moment and just, no, it's not enough. I understood. Naruto explained why you did what you did. The Hokage explained why you did what you did, but I need to know. I need to hear it from you. So I know that I made the right choice. Why did you do it? Why did you kill them all? Why did you leave me alive? And Itachi is silent, and then he speaks. It's like it's as they said, little brother. I loved my family, but I loved my home, and I had to make the choice. Let them kill innocent people who had nothing to do with our petty squabbles and our ego, or make the sacrifice that I had to make, and stop them before they could ever do it. And so I made the choice. No, and there was truly no right choice. Either way, no matter what would happen, someone would suffer. But I did what I felt was the right thing to do for my home and the people I loved. But what about me? You were only a child. I knew that you knew nothing of it. Which sidetrack real quick. We know there were actually a lot of members of the Uchiha. Some of them weren't ninja at all. Did every single member of the Uchiha clan except Sasuke know, or there's no one else in Sasuke's age range that were just oblivious? I don't know. I don't know. Like I feel like there should be more Uchiha survivors, honestly. But anyway, and Sasuke, you were my little brother. I could never hurt you. So I told you a lie. I told you that told you the reason I did it was solely for power, so you could live to avenge our clan. But unfortunately, but eventually you went down you went down a wrong path for a while. Orochimaru's influence crept into you, and you were slowly being able to, you're slowly being corrupted. It was only thanks to Naruto that you were able to be brought back to the light. Uh, and so and so I am sorry for everything, little brother. I don't expect you to ever truly forgive me, but know that I am that as my brother. I did what I thought was right for you, for our home, and yes, even our family, and I will always love you. And so, Sasuke is hearing all this, and if this were the manga, you might not see his eyes, you might just see his mouth, and just like, and and you'll just hear all thoughtful saying, "I don't know if I could ever truly forgive you for everything, but but that doesn't mean I'm gonna hate you forever either." And Sasuke's like, "Thank you for letting me hear it from your words." And you would maybe see some tears coming out of Sasuke's eyes, and yeah, so ultimately, Sasuke and Itachi make it to Orochimaru. I mentioned that maybe there'd be a Naruto clone with them. I actually think Naruto might sit this out now I say it out loud. And they get in there, and there's Orochimaru. There's Kabuto, probably taught the Edo Tensei by Orochimaru, admittedly. Maybe even get him a couple upgrades. Like maybe he's not truly his snake form that he is in the series at this point, but he's like a halfway step there to amp him up. Thanks to Orochimaru. Itachi, Sasuke, so good to see you finally. Um, so, so good to see you finally. I was expecting you once you broke yourself free of my jutsu, Itachi. Of course, you traitorous snake. Of course we'd be here. And uh, and you brought me such a welcoming gift, not just a Sharingan, no, even beyond a Mangekyo, an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. And he just licks his lips, just. Oh, what a wondrous day this is indeed. It's not gonna. You're joking if I think you're gonna let you take me. Say, it's not that simple. You could kill me, but then that would undo the jutsu, would it? What do you mean? It's clear Kabuto's the one running the show. No, is it? Or are we both having a hand in it? Maybe half the. And I think that would be Orochimaru's real strategy here. Is that yeah, one of us you might be able to take. Two of us is going to be a lot more difficult. Um, and even if you're able to figure out a way, even if you kill us, the juice is not undone. Even if you figure out a way to stop one of us, that only stops half of the Edo Tenseis. And so they're both like, ugh. And I was like, so then, maybe, but we can make a deal. Just give yourself to me, Sasuke. Offer me your body. And yeah, that sounded as creepy as it would. Offer me your body to me. Give it to me, and I will undo the jutsu. I hold no loyalty to Toby. To this fake Madara. Fake, so that it's not the real Madara. Oh, of course, you were unaware of this. Absolutely not. This is not. No, in fact, the true Madara is on the battlefield right now. We brought him back for a specific purpose, to wreak havoc upon all of you. But and the Kabuto translates, you really should do what he says. It is the best hour because it is the only way you are going to be able to stop us. And so Itachi and Sasuke, look at each other, and Itachi's like, Sasuke's never going to accept this, and Sasuke looks like he's going to accept it. He's like, is that right? After all, my influence, they may have been able to suppress it, but my influence is still there. And you know I am where you belong, Sasuke. To help you get revenge on what they did to your family, to your clan. And Sasuke just quiet, and then just finally he just opens his eyes, and Amaterasu comes out. It's like, yeah. It's like and all of a sudden Susanoo arms comes out. Orochimaru dodges. You're crazy if you think I'm gonna just join you. After everything you've done. No, I put that behind me. I'm here now just to kill your ass and stop this madness. Oh, Sasuke, I'm so disappointed. But and I can't say I wasn't expecting this. Brooks out the grass longsword. Kabuto immediately is out in Itachi immediately into the fray, and their fight begins. And I'm not going to go into the full details of the fight. You can kind of paint a little bit of the picture, but we'll go into kind of where it sums up. Basically, we get to the point where Sasuke does have his curse mark activated, and he goes in the second form, and ultimately, and ultimately, it's like what I was waiting. When he saw Ultra activates a hand sign, and he's like, "Get off!" He's like, "This curse mark was my creation, Sasuke. You think I don't know how to activate it on will?" And it's like, now then, your body will be mine. Unfortunately, I can't take you for another 3 years, but but I'll keep you in pristine condition until then. And Sasuke finally just all collapses, like, and all of a sudden he bursts into like flames or whatever, or lightning. It's like what, or shadow birds, whatever you want to say. It's like, and it's like, what? What is no? Again, and all of a sudden he gets a blade and I'm just. It's like, what are you? And all of a sudden, Sasuke, Itachi's there with Itachi's right in front of him. His eyes just putting him in, eyes opening and showing us, like, no, and he just cracks out of there. And, he fires, he turns into a Yamato Orochi and attacks him. And it seems it's a perfect. All of a sudden, he gets sealed in Susanoo, and then he's back at that point again. It's like, what's going on? And what ultimately happened was Itachi took care of Kabuto actually pretty single-handedly, without too much difficulty. But he's still a little difficult. But the point is, he took care of him, put him in Izanagi, Izanami, and then that's when Itachi came around and did Izanami again on Orochimaru, because basically he learned from Kabuto how to undo the jutsus, but he had to put Orochimaru in there because they both had half of the Edo Tensei, so forced them both to do it. When this is all over, do what you will with their bodies, Sasuke. I will not judge you. And so Sasuke just makes the choice. Yeah, I'm just gonna burn them to ashes. And both Orochimaru and Kabuto are just completely incinerated while they're stuck in a Genjutsu. Now, obviously, Madara is able to get out of this. We know he is. And so, really now, majority of this goes down pretty much the same. Sasuke is not as strong as he is in the original because he's lacking the clear chakra reserves he had in the original. But he is capable. He's still very capable of going. But the Madara fighting the Kages happens. Naruto and Killer Bee fighting Obito happens, and his Jinchurikis. But Naruto's swift release and the Fox chakra together are so strong that he's able to pretty much keep them at distance, mess them up pretty bad. Granted, they're Edo Tensei, so honestly, you don't get Naruto really struggling until they go into their Tail Beast form. Naruto struggles, but he still ends up bonding and partnering with Kurama, which in turn allows him to become the full Kyuubi mode, which combined with swift release is is probably like nuts beyond the speed of light at this point. So not only does he have all the power of Kurama and all Kurama's speed, but he's also got swift release on top of that, which means he completely and utterly annihilates the Tail Beasts. Then you get into, the whole Shinobi forces fighting Six Paths Madara, and yeah, like it would still be pretty much the same. Sasuke's power is a little bit more limited in this version, but he'd be able to wrap him in a perfect Susanoo. Granted, it'd be taxing on his body at this point, But between that and Naruto, they still beat down Obito. Madara shows up, resurrects himself. Naruto and Sasuke are kind of down for the count for a little bit. Naruto is brought back to life, fortunately. The big difference here is that you might not get the Kages, which is a big factor. I actually will say that. That is the one thing that's a big change here, is that you don't really get the Kages, so you don't get Naruto getting Kurama's other half of his chakra, which is a bit of a problem. Naruto would be severely hampered because that's half of Kurama's chakra. He's not getting back there. Add on to now, granted, you can make the argument that Orochimaru and Kabuto did actually go and resurrect the Kages, with the mask, but the fact is Orochimaru had only just come back to life, and that's why he was able to steal Ozetsu's body. But here he doesn't have that advantage. So if he knew that, that would be detrimental to him probably. But I think you could also make an argument, and I didn't even get to, this is the one part I also forget that's where the Kages come from too. So I always forget that part too. I did not think this through as well as I thought I did. So you could make the argument that maybe Orochimaru actually can't really fight that well because his arms are taken out. That's why Kabuto is the one doing the Edo Tensei. So maybe the Kages are on the battlefield. And maybe they are running amok a little bit. But maybe Naruto does actually run into his dad, and maybe his dad does transfer the Fox Chakra to him. It's a little debatable, honestly. Again, I didn't think that part through because I honestly forgot about that part. I will say that actually that's not a bad idea. Granted, Orochimaru would be hampered and he'd know it, but I don't know, maybe I don't think it's a bad option to go with, frankly. So yeah, we can say that we can make that excuse for Naruto getting the other half of the Nine Tails still. Like he has all the Nine Tails at this point now. So that happens. As for Sasuke though, that's a bit of a problem. Because Sasuke, there is no Karin, there is no Suigetsu, and there is no Kabuto or Orochimaru left in this scenario. So does Sasuke just straight out die? I don't think so. I think he's on death's door. But the fact is, they did bring Tsunade back, and I think Tsunade or Shizune might be able to get to him to keep him stable for at least a little bit. And that could get him his Rin Sharingan. That said, they'd be struggling to keep him alive. But that whole time, Naruto and Sasuke were debating with the Sage of Six Paths and what to do. And so, Naruto and Sasuke do survive. Madara is now the Six Paths Madara as he is. But with Swift Release and all their current abilities, they are able to pretty much just take care of Madara without less difficulty than they had originally. And then you get Kaguya, but Naruto's Swift Release just adds on to everything that happens with that. So yeah, although I did have to work around the fact that I forgot about the Hokages coming back through to Orochimaru. I think really everything kind of ends the same way, minus the fight at the Valley of the End. So you would still get Naruto and Hinata, you'd get Sasuke and Sakura probably. Yeah, all's well that ends well, really. There's not a whole lot of differences in the finale. The one big snafu I had to the one thing I had to remember was the fact that Kages got resurrected by Orochimaru, and how they got resurrected. Anyway, I digress. So this is the end of part 9 of What If Naruto had the Swift Release. And this is the end of this particular What If. As you've seen, we have a poll going on about which squad you want Naruto's next Zanpakuto to come from. I'm probably actually just going to update that poll today, just because it's pretty obvious what 3 are in the lead right now. It's not going to change by tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.